Are you fighting for love or fighting for someone who already left you emotionally? Hi everyone, welcome back to yet another episode of Real Talk with Yudee. Let me ask you something uncomfortable. How do you know you're actually fighting for your relationship and you're not fighting for someone who has already left you emotionally? Because sometimes the hardest thing to accept isn't that someone stopped loving you. It's realizing that you are still fighting for a relationship that the other person emotionally abandoned a long time ago. Let's be honest. Relationships go through difficult seasons. People get tired, people get angry, people become distant. People make mistakes, and sometimes love requires fighting through those difficult seasons. But there is a difference between fighting for love and fighting alone for something that only you still want. If you're the only person apologizing, the only person initiating conversations, the only person trying to fix problems, the only person imagining a future together, you need to stop and ask yourself a very important question. Am I fighting for us, or am I fighting to convince you to want us? Sometimes a person doesn't leave physically. They still come home. They still sleep beside you. They still answer your phone calls. They still appear in family pictures. But emotionally, they are somewhere else. And that kind of absence can be more confusing than an actual goodbye. Because you keep telling yourself, they're still here. But deep down, you know something has changed. So how do you know whether you're fighting for love or fighting for someone who has already left emotionally? Ask yourself these 5 questions. Question 1. Do they still make an effort to repair the relationship? Not just when you're crying. Not just when you're threatening to leave. Not just after an argument. I'm talking about consistent effort. Question 2. Are you still emotionally safe with this person? Can you express your feelings without being mocked, dismissed, punished, or ignored? Question 3. Are you both working toward the same future? Because love isn't just about staying together. It's about wanting to build something together. When you stop chasing, does the relationship completely stop moving? This one is painful. If you stop calling, stop checking, stop apologizing, stop initiating, does anything happen? Or does the relationship simply become silent? Question 5. Are you in love with who they are today? Or are you holding on to who they used to be? Because sometimes we're not fighting for the person in front of us, we're fighting for the version of them we remember. The difference between patience and self-abandonment. Please understand this. Being patient in love is not weakness. Giving someone room to grow is not foolishness. Forgiving someone doesn't make you desperate. But there comes a point where patience becomes self-abandonment. When you constantly sacrifice your peace just to keep another person comfortable. When you keep shrinking yourself so they won't leave. When you keep accepting emotional neglect because you're afraid of starting over. You have to ask yourself whether you're protecting the relationship or abandoning yourself to preserve it. A powerful realization. Love should require effort. Absolutely. But healthy love shouldn't require you to beg someone to participate in the relationship. You shouldn't have to constantly convince someone of your worth. You shouldn't have to compete for basic affection. You shouldn't have to perform emotional gymnastics just to receive communication. And you shouldn't have to carry an entire relationship on your back while calling it love. So tonight, I want you to sit with yourself. Don't think about what you want them to become. Don't think about the memories. Don't think about the years you've invested. Look at the relationship exactly as it is today. Ask yourself, is this person choosing me? Are they still showing up? Are they still trying? Are we still building? Or am I the only one keeping this relationship alive? And if you discover that you're fighting alone, please remember this. Walking away from something that no longer has mutual love doesn't mean you failed. Sometimes letting go is not giving up on love. Sometimes it's finally choosing yourself. If this conversation touched something inside you, sit with it, think about it, and tell me in the comments, have you ever realized that you were fighting for someone who had already left emotionally? Let's talk.